going, lads?
Andrew McCART, IFL TV in association with MTK Global.
We're going to take it over from here.
Go on in.
We Ahmad.
Take it.
Carry on your first verse.
I was going to say, I'm out here in Dubai. With me, I've got none other than the one and only Billy Joe Saunders and Round 10's own out here in Dubai, Ahmad Seddiqi. I mean, I just want to start with you, Billy, unless you've got something else you want to say there.
No. We'll wind it. We're going to let you. This is your show.
It's my show.
We're on it. We're guests on your show. We're gonna.
You've never said that to Coogan before.
No, because I've got respect for this man, Coogan.
I appreciate that, Billy. Well, I want to start before we come to you, Ahmed. I want to start with Billy Joe. I mean, you had your American debut out in LA and stuff like that. How did you find that? 2 weeks out, have you had time to watch the fight back and whatnot?
Do you know what? I haven't really watched it back. It's pointless watching it back because I know how I felt. So I know where it went wrong, where it didn't go wrong. Listen, to have a bad day at the office and still come out with a knockout win at this level, this shows that you've got to have that fighting art in this sport. It's a very dangerous sport. So as long as you get the win and you both come out safe, that's the main thing. And we both did.
Obviously, you don't want to go and fight these guys anymore. You're after the big names. Are you hoping for these big names 2020, like the Canelos, maybe Callum Smiths and whatnot?
Yeah, well listen, like I say, that's all left for my management, MTK. They've done a brilliant job so far. They have got the know-hows to make these big fights. So I've left it with them. I've got my trust in them, and I think that these big fights will happen next.
Well, Ahmad Seddiqi, we're out here and this is your lovely, beautiful country. I mean, Billy Joe, you've been here a few times. You're out here to support MTK fighters and all that. And
this is the first time I've been to Dubai.
Really?
Yes.
Likewise, it's my first time as well.
Yeah. And do you know what? It's very, I was expecting it to be very hot. I jumped on a plane, no clothes. So I thought, I'll see what the weather's saying, let's go to the mall. The malls are open at 12 o'clock as well, so I'm happy, I'm impressed.
You're impressed? You're impressed with Dubai?
Yes, I am impressed.
It is an impressive place, It's His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, he did a great job in the country, having the best infrastructure, great hotels here, everything is available. So it's just that boxing, we're growing here and we see a great future in it too. So
that's all down to you, Ahmed, isn't it?
Yes.
You created Round 10 boxing here in Dubai. You partnered with MTK. I mean, I don't know. Boxing's still small in Dubai, would you agree? And do you hope it to grow with the help of MTK?
Of course, I'm a very realistic person. We opened the gym 6 years ago, and today, we're partnering with one of the biggest companies in professional boxing, which is MTK Global, and all the stable of fighters they have, including
Billy
Joe and Tyson Fury. He's a great champion. Having him and coming to our show in Dubai, this is a great pleasure, a world champion coming here. What more do we want? This shows that Dubai has a future in professional boxing, as in to stage great fights here because of all the things we have. Look at this beautiful place.
Yeah, I'm going to expand around. I mean, look at this. This is the venue.
Yeah. To look at the aspect as well, how long they've been up and running here.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you've got Top Rank in wanting a piece of it. Soon there'll be other big promoters wanting a piece of it. I think that if they keep putting on good shows like this and good venues like this and getting good crowds, what's coming out, once they feed the public this sport with world-class fights, this could be a heaven for Dubai. It's a lovely country as it is. So if you could imagine adding world-class, fighters, the Joshuas and Ruizes, 2 hours while they're playing. So even me, listen, I would love to fight here one day. I know Tyson would love to fight. He's mentioned it to me 2 or 3 times. Imagine Tyson Fury rigging out a bill here. I mean, people don't only get, good fights, good entertainment out of it. They get holiday as well.
Yeah.
You're not going to, your average flying away to Russia and you're going to watch the boxing or get on a plane home. I mean, look at this lovely country.
There's experience, there's a whole
waking up. Yeah, wake up in the morning or a good night's boxing, bit of hangover.
Yeah.
The weather to help you out the beach to get back on it. It's good. All right, listen, I'm totally for it.
I've got to ask you then, Ahmed, how long before you mentioned that Billy Joe there, he's good friends with Tyson Fury, very good friends with Tyson Fury. He just said that Tyson has mentioned to him that he'd love to fight in Dubai. When you hear that, how does that make you feel?
I got goosebumps when he said that. We have a huge stadium actually in the middle of the city,
Coca-Cola
Coca-Cola Arena. Yes, it takes around 13,000 people. State of the art. This is a really small one. It's like 500 people sold out. But imagine having like Billy Joe Saunders or Tyson Fury or the Joshuas or Ruiz or whoever, like the big names. Imagine.
Just imagine me versus Canelo Alvarez.
Yes.
Oh, could that happen, Ahmed? Can you make that happen?
It could happen. It could happen. We are sure, and we're very positive with our government will show us the support in putting up such big fights, because Dubai needs it.
Dubai needs it. Sorry, Ahmed. Can I ask you a direct question then? How long before do you believe that we can start seeing the champions like Billy Joe, and the Tyson Furies and these fighters that we've just mentioned? How long before they can be fighting in here?
I think personally, I'm not answering it for him, but I'll say what I think. I think once the public, the Dubai people, buy into the boxing, see the good fights, see the big names, get to know the fighters, regular shows, then I think that's the market really they've got to go to. Because I think once the Ruiz and Joshua fight happens in Saudi Arabia, I think the Dubai,
the region sort of thing,
I think it just spreads out, and I think that you could see it here pretty soon. I think.
Yes, I do agree with them. It's just we're building a fan base now, for the sport. People are not used to it here, we have different great sports happening, the horse racing, the golf, Dubai Tour, the cycling competition. Now we're pushing on the boxing side, and we're getting great exposure, thanks to MTK Global and Top Rank and ESPN and all the big names. IFL, of course, IFL too. Great support from everyone that's building something from nothing. This is not an easy job to do. We're putting our hearts and soul into professional boxing. I love the sport, I left a lot in my life just to put full attention to the sport. Yes. So now it's the time. I think now is the time. We had a great year in professional boxing in the country, and we hope next year with the expo happening next year in October. So we hope that at that time we could bring something big to Dubai, because that will not just bring exposure to Dubai, just for the whole region too, like what's happening in Saudi Arabia, which is great. But having it also in Dubai will be even greater, with all the great infrastructure and hotels and entertainment that we have. It's just like the Las Vegas of the Middle East, but without the gambling. It's simple, it's realistically, talking. It's the Las Vegas of the Middle East without the gambling.
I've got a couple more questions before we wrap up, because the show's about to start. One for you, then obviously you can jump in the second question, Billy. The first question is, what fighters have you got that we need to keep an eye on? I know you've got Mujadal Al-Nakbi, who's fighting in Joshua's undercard in Saudi Arabia. Is there any other names out there we should look out for?
Yes, we do have Hasib, the fighter from Afghanistan, who just had the fight right now. He's a really talented fighter, just 19 years old. We're taking our time with him. He has a really bright future. Other than that, Majid Al-Nakbi, what a great fighter from our country. We're really happy. Our country is really small. It's not a boxing country, and having a fighter like him fighting on
Emirati as well.
Yes, an Emirati, and fighting on the undercard of Joshua Ruiz, that's history for our country too. It's 4 rounds. He's starting, but still, it's great news for the country. So we're happy. We currently have three UAE Emirati professional boxers. That never happened in the history of our country, having 3 active boxers, and we all worked on that in 1 year. So we are very proud of this, and with those 3 kids, hopefully we're gonna build a fan base, Emirati fan base. So that they're not used to seeing like UAE boxer, so that's a great challenge for us to build as well.
I have one more question then. Who wins, Canelo or Billy Joe? How do you win, Billy? How do you win?
Let's be realistic. I personally, I'm a realistic person. His talent is great, and his technical in boxing is I always tell my friends, he's such a great fighter, and it will always be interesting to see him fight the top guys, and so I am really happy to see him here. And
how does that make you feel here now, Billy?
Yeah, listen, good, especially from people like Mohammed, obviously MTK, and Matchroom all behind me. Now I think I've got the right team around me to make them fights, and realistically they're in touching distance. Like I say, they're all world-class fighters at this level, so I look at it, how do I beat him? I more look at it, how do he beat me? Because they haven't seen the best of me yet, and I'm in the prime of my life now, ready to give it. So, let's make these. They're all great fighters. I've got a lot of respect for them. Like I say, what better would it be to get obviously Mohammed, MTK, Eddie Earn all to work, but a big fight in Dubai. Imagine that, bringing Canelo Alvarez, and myself fighting for a world title here in Dubai.
And a good thing, Canelo visited Dubai actually.
Did he?
I think it was this year or last year. I think he came to Dubai and then went to Ras Al Khaimah. So I'm sure he's going to be interested too.
I think it's good to see like boxing now all around the world. MTK now as well. Doesn't matter here now in Dubai. I mean, who would think it in Dubai?
I know.
You know, so they're only just starting out and they're making big impact already. So if you can imagine, you know, another 18 months down the road, I can remember when MTK started out.
Yeah.
You know, then within 3 years, it absolutely just exploded. You know, went big. It's the biggest, I think, the biggest management in the world. You know, and to put, he's not wasting his time with things like this. They're obviously hard-working people, and you know, very clever when it comes to things like this in business. So to make it work here is a hard job. But once you do get it to make it work here, I think this adds another thing to this country, doesn't it?
Definitely. Well, guys, I think that's the show just starting. Should we go and get our seats and watch the rest of the show?
Yeah.
Guys, thanks for
God bless
this
you.
Fight Club
Thank you.
TV. Thanks very much, guys. Thank you.